Okay. Okay, please let me open this presentation. Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, good morning everyone. Good morning, Mr. Yousef. In this occasion, I would like to presenting our presentation. We are from group 4. In here, I will act as your moderator for today's presentation. I will guide you through the presentation, ensuring that it will run smoothly and efficiently. Our topics of today's presentation is voice and voiceless. Before we begin the presentation, I would like to introduce the member of the group. The first member of the group is Bilqis, Adisti, Naila. The second member is Alivia Salsabila, and the third member is Angelina, Resti, Gultom, and the fourth member is Annida, Qothrunnada, Hidayat, and the last member is Hanum Salsabila. Okay, the first material of today's presentation is introduction. So, what is voice and voiceless sounds? So, voice and voiceless sounds are two categories of sounds in the English language. All vowel sounds are voiced, while consonant sounds can be either voiced or voiceless. So, all of you must remember that all vowel sounds are voiced, while the consonant can be either voiced or voiceless. So, what's the difference between voice sounds and voiceless sounds? Voice sounds require a vibration of the vocal cords, which are located in the throat, while the voiceless sounds do not have this vibration. Before we begin to the main parts of the presentation, I would like to explain to you about the importance of learning voice and voiceless. So, what is the importance of learning voice and voiceless? The first important is to improve pronunciation and communication skill. And second is to pronounce sounds correctly and avoid pronunciation mistakes. And third is can be helpful when practicing difficult sounds such as word endings. And fourth is to contrast their pronunciation and identify their distinctive means to production. So the next material is voice will be presented by Alivia. So Alivia, the time is yours.
Oke, thank you. Sebelumnya dengan occasion I will is voice sounds, voice vowels, voice consonant, 15 examples of voice consonant and how to pronounce them. For the first, voice vowels. Vowels in English are A, E, I, O, U. All of them have voice sounds because their pronouncing requires the flowing air in the larynx. In conclusion, all vowels are voiced. And second, voice consonant. Voiced consonants are consonant sounds that require a vibration of the vocal cords to produce their signature sounds. Here are 15 examples of voice consonants. Karena ini presentasinya online, mungkin kalian bisa megang leher masing-masing buat ngerasain vibration-nya. Yang pertama tuh B, bed, a about beer. And second, the door, food, set. Next, green, green girl. Vote, observer. And this, the. Untuk yang ini tuh, yang logonya susah, lidah kalian ada di tengah-tengah antara gigi atas dan gigi bawah. Jadi kayak bed, there, they. Next, the, citizen, resident, noise. Next, z, pleasure, measure, casual. And next, lounge, joy, joke. Jump, money, mom. Never, nurse, noise. And this, sing, English, rhyme. Love, will. Row, rule, rat. Want, win, way. Year, young, yes. Thank you. That's all my explanation. I return it to Tehnida as moderator.
Okay, thank you, Alivia, for explaining to us about what is voice sounds. So, the next material is Voiceless. Will be delivered by Hanum Salsabila. So Hanum, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you for presenter giving me an opportunity to delivering this material. So, first, did you guys know about Voiceless? If you don't know about that, don't worry because we will discuss about that together now on. So, in basically, voiceless sound are the sound with not produce vibrating in our throat. So like if you want to prove it, you must be take your hand and touch your throat, and you can say example sounds or maybe sounds like that and many more. And so this is brief statement about voiceless sound. So voiceless consonant are consonant sound that are produced without the vibration of the vocal cords. The sounds can be distinguished from their voice counterparts by placing a hand on the throat and feeling for vibration. When producing voiceless sound, there should be no noticeable vibration in the throat. Next, please. So this is 9 voiceless consonant. The first P sound, is an example of voiceless sound produced by closing the upper lip and your lower lip, then releasing them abruptly. And the second one is T sound. T is an example of voiceless produced by placing the tip of the tongue near your front teeth and then releasing it. And K sounds is an example of the voiceless sounds produced by blocking the airflow behind your soft palate with your tongue and soft palate. And there are also voiceless sounds produced in the soft palate, such as in the word hat. These are formed by blocking the airflow in the soft palate and in the larynx, where the vocals do not vibrate. The example like pull up, travel, and like tree, stop, and want, and up, dark, walk, and like fish, for, food, and like fight, throw, and earth. and like sink, sit, and fast. And sh sound like finish, shoe, and fish. And this is sounds like teacher, child, and chair. And the last one sound like who, for, part. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Hanum, for the amazing presentation. The next material is about word pairs will be delivered by Angel. So, Angel, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Annida. So for the next is about word pairs. Next slide, please. So here are some examples word pairs, word almost equal that we found, but with different sounds. So I'm sorry if my voice not clear. So for the first, voiceless s and voice s. For example, advice and advise, and eyes and eyes, knees and knees. So the next, voiceless t and voice d. For example, mat and made, hat and hat, bat and bat. The next, voiceless f and f. For example, half and half, life and life, believe and believe. For the last is voiceless k and g. For example, back and back, dog and dog, duck and duck. That's it for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Angel, for the amazing presentation. So, the next material is about language variation will be delivered by Resti. So, Resti, this time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Annida. So, in this section, I will present about language variation. So, how the distinction between voice and voiceless sounds varies across language. The first one is from phonemic contrast. In some language, the difference between voice and voiceless sounds is meaningful and can change the meaning of a word. For example, like in English, the difference between b and p is contrastive, as in the words bad and pat. And then the second one is from phonetic variation. So even within a language, there can be variation in the way that voice and voiceless sounds are pronounced. However, if this variation is not meaningful and doesn't change the meaning of a word, it is not treated as a separate phenomenon in the mental grammar of speaker. And then the last one is from vowel length difference. In most language, vowels are longer before voice and then before voiceless consonant. This difference in vowel length is thought to be related to the amount of time it takes for the vocal cords to transition from voice to voiceless state. Next slide, please. Okay, we have ice breaking. So we have some quiz. We're gonna share the link in our group class. So wait a minute, okay?
Okay, so please everyone to join the quizzes using the code in the screen. Okay, thank you Raki for joining the game. So everyone, please join the quizzes with using the code in the screen.
How many people already joined the quizzes? Oh, 18. For moderator, we can start the game, so it's efficient for the time. Yeah, we can play the quiz. Okay, we have 3 winners in here. The first one is Gemma, the second one is Vika, and the third place is ini siapa Waka, but you can confirm in group class. And for the present,
Saya waka-waka.
siapa itu?
Wak.
Wafa ya? Give it when we met in class. Okay, because that drinking is already over, I'm gonna give the time for the moderator back. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Steve, for the amazing games. So the last material is conclusion. So in conclusion, understanding the distinction between voice and voiceless sounds isn't only fundamental to the field of linguistics, but also crucial for effective communication. Voice sounds produced when the vocal cords vibrate and voiceless sounds produced when they do not. Voice and voiceless play a pivotal role in shaping the sounds of language. So, here are the reference we use for the presentation. And last is Q&A session. So please everyone who have question for us, you can raise your hand and ask the question.
Hello.
Okay, Devan.
I have a question, but can I write the question in the chat box?
You can tell us in here.
Okay. How? What? So, wait. What is the strategies to differentiate between voice and voiceless sound? That's all my question. Do you get it?
What is the strategies to
Differentiate between voice and voiceless sound.
Okay, thank you so much, Devan, for the question. let us allow us to discuss first before answering the question. Any question from the others?
Hello.
Okay.
Suaranya nggak?
Yeah.
So my name is Wafa. I want to give a questions. How do voice and voiceless consonants differ in terms of their articulations, and what role does vocal cord vibration play in distinguish between these two categories of sounds?
Okay. Thank you for the question, Wafa. Any question? One more question. Okay, I think everyone is understood with our presentation. So there are two questions from Wafa and Nepran. Please give us a few minutes to answering the question. Thank you. Okay, the discussion in our talk is enough. To answering the following questions will be answered by Angel. So Angel.
Okay, I will answer this different question. The question is, what is the strategy to difference between voice and voiceless sound? There are several strategies to difference between voice and voiceless sound as described in the search list. For the first, feeling the vibration. And voice sounds caused by vibration in the vocal cords, which can be felt by placing a finger on the throat while making the sounds. Unvoiced sounds do not cause a vibration. And the second, using a harmonica. A harmonica can be used to help students discuss. So for the second, visualizing the movement of air. Unvoiced sounds are made by movement of the tongue or air being pushed out the mouth in various ways. Students can visualize the movement of air by holding a piece of paper in front of their mouth while making an voice sound. The air from the sound will move the paper. And for the last is using example words. We can use example words for each sound to show the difference voicing and in a word. For example, the P sounds in voiceless while the B sounds in voice. Is that enough, different?
Yes, thank you, Angel.
Okay, now for the next questions from Wafa will be answering by Disti. So Disti, please answer the Wafa's question.
Okay, thank you, Annida. For my first question is how do voice and voiceless consonant differ in terms of their articulation, and what role does vocal cord vibration play in distinguish between these two kinds of sound? So the answer is for voice sound. When you make a voice sound, your vocal cords vibrate. It's like a gentle hum in your throat. Or like for example, when you say Z in zebra, your vocal cords is vibrate. And for voiceless sound, when you make a voiceless sound, your vocal cords don't vibrate. They stay apart. There's no hum. Like for the example, when you say S in snake, your vocal cords are apart and there's no hum. So vocal cord vibration or the lack of it is what makes the difference between these two type of sounds. It's like a tiny engine inside you that help you to talk, and it changes the way the word sounds. So is it clear, Wafa?
Yeah, it's I'm so satisfied with your answer. Thank you for answering my questions.
Okay, thank you, Disti, for answering the Wafa's question. Okay, I think our presentation is enough. Thank you so much for everyone for participating in our presentation. That's all for us. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi